platforms he's done really good. Yeah.
Oscar-winning animated film.
Did it really win an Oscar?
I don't think so. It should win an Oscar for meme power. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tank Talks. My name's Keith.
And I'm Brandon.
And my name's Leonard. I'm a sweet pig. Shout out to Zach Patton who bought me this pig at the Goodwill. Or a thrift store. I don't know the story behind it so much. All I know is that he thought I'd like it, and is it something that I'd like at first glance? But is it something that I like a lot because Zach gave it to me? Yes, indeed. So meet Leonard. Leonard is a sweet pig. But that's not what we're here to do.
Today, Keith, we're not talking about Leonard. Maybe eventually down the road we will, but today we are looking at the top 10 funniest people of all time. We once again went to ranker.com and found a list that we found interesting. So today, Keith, I'm going to give you who their top 10 is, and then afterwards, we're kind of going to give our take on it. Or I guess as I go, feel free to.
What was our first list? Our first ranker list, which is this would be the second one, right?
Our first one was, I think, best greatest duos of all time.
I think you're right.
And then I think we looked up one other one, but I cannot remember it.
Okay. Funniest people.
How Ranker works is someone goes and makes a list, and then people vote. On this list, from what I could tell, around 12,000 people voted on this list. So I think it makes it pretty valid if you've got 12,000 people's opinion.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
So here we go. Top 10 on the list. Number 10, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. I think he deserves to be on the list. I think he's a very funny man. I'm always saying live in a van down by the river. I wouldn't call myself the biggest Chris Farley fan. I don't know a whole lot of his work, but I think based on how people see him, he deserves to be on the list.
I think he did a lot in a little span of time.
That's true.
I think it says something too when you can just do very little and still be recognized for it.
Maybe so.
Number 9, Steve Carell.
Oh, I just love Steve Carell. Steve Carell can be on whatever list he wants.
I think The Office alone gets him in the conversation.
Want to be on a list of nicest dudes? I think Steve Carell can be on there. You want to be on a list of funniest people? Absolutely Steve Carell. Also, the older Steve Carell gets and the more salt and pepper his hair gets, especially at the end of The Office, because Lizzie and I watched the last episode of The Office. At the end of The Office, where his hair is just kind of like pushed down to on his forehead, it's not styled in any way, and he looks a lot like my dad, which is really, it's kind of odd for me to look at him in that episode. But yeah, Steve Carell,
How about we go through the list, then afterwards we'll see
how
we
I'm sorry.
move it around.
I'm getting bogged down.
So here, I'm going to finish out the list.
Okay.
Number 8, Richard Pryor. Number 7, George Carlin. Number 6, Steve Martin. Number 5, Eddie Murphy. Number 4, Jim Carrey. Number 3, Bill Murray. Number 2, Will Ferrell. Number 1, Robin Williams. Any names on that list you think stand out, shouldn't be there?
Don't belong, maybe? I don't know if Will... Now I think you personally are gonna be hurt by this, but I don't know if Will Ferrell is one of the 10 funniest men ever to live.
Really?
I don't think so. I think he's funny, but I think he found something that was really funny. And I think he kind of maybe has created a character off of that. Or how about this? I don't think he's number 2. He's number 2 on this list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this list is voted on probably a lot by people who are our age.
Yeah.
Which is why he would get so high up. I mean, I've heard all those names of the older guys before, like Richard Pryor and George Carlin and stuff, but I can't think of things that they've done. But just hearing their names a lot, I can see it. But Will Ferrell, I don't think he gets the number 2 spot.
See, I was more concerned with Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey, 5th and 4th.
I'm also concerned with those. I'm just picking my first battle.
I think they had a good run. See, what I was thinking, because I was wondering too if Will Ferrell should be number 2. Because I'm like, most of the time you don't hear it in the list. But I thought about staying power. And I thought about how when you think of movies that are accepted as funny Will Ferrell movies. So like your Holmes and Watson to the side. It's just movies that people look at and they're like, that's a classic. You've got Anchorman 1. You've got Step Brothers. You've got Touting a Knights. The other guys. I don't know if what was the basketball one he did.
Gosh.
I always forget.
Love Me Sexy is the song on there.
Yeah.
Semi-Pro.
Yeah. I think that movies like that are people are like, oh, that's a funny movie. I think he's had staying power. So I'm kind of weird about him being number 2 as well.
Well, also I think Will Ferrell. I mean, does he do stand up? Has he done anything like that? I'm not saying.
I don't think he's done much, but we'll see. Also, he's got like his whole Funny or Die empire. So he does a lot of writing. He does a lot of producing.
Sure, maybe so. I think to judge him based on his movies is unfair because there are other people in those movies.
Yeah.
Like Will Ferrell, he has to bounce off of other people. The other guys is not as funny if Mark Wahlberg is not, starring opposite Will Ferrell in that movie. I have another gripe with this list, but I'm sure you also have issues as well. I mean, if you want to.
Robin Williams is number 1.
No. It's a lack of presence on the list.
Well, here I'll give you a list of here's 5 people I picked out that I thought arguably could be on the list.
Okay. Before you do that, I would like to mention humor is subjective. I think this list is a hard one to make anyway because humor is absolutely subjective. You could find none of these people on this list funny, but people tend to agree that these people are funny, and it's absolutely subjective.
I think on my Robin Williams comment as well, he's someone that I don't personally... I love hearing him talk about like comedy and what goes into it. But I don't like seeing like his characters he's played.
Okay.
However, I was like, I know that I'm in the minority in that. Yeah. So with the list, I didn't really have a problem with him being up there.
Absolutely.
Number 11th, Leslie Nielsen. 17, Jerry Seinfeld. 22nd was Seth MacFarlane. 41st was Johnny Carson. Really big, popular for like the Late Show. And then Jim Gaffigan, number 58.
Okay. I was going to mention one of those. Jerry Seinfeld belongs in the top 10, I think. I think one meaningful thing of a funny person, I'm forming my own list here.
Yeah.
But for a list like this, I would really prefer them to be people that not only are funny, but have made understand the art of being funny. It's more than just I'm a funny guy. But like Jerry Seinfeld could tell you, I think, and based on watching comedians in cars getting coffee, and a lot of other comedians, he's probably done an episode with most people on here that he was, a contemporary of. That show is hilarious, by the way. Go watch comedians in cars getting coffee because it's funny guys talking about being funny.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times I think you take humorous dudes and ladies for granted. They just get it. They're just funny, but really it kind of lets you into the mind of a comedian and how they're always thinking about how to get the next joke and how they know what gets laughs and stuff, and it's really like kind of an art form. Mm-hmm. So I would like for the people on the list to be people who not only could make me laugh, but then could tell me why I laughed,
I think, too, that they've made it in different forms. Like, they're not just known as, like a really good stand-up person. Or like a Jerry Seinfeld TV show, one of the most, recognizable ones.
Yeah.
Like, on stand-up. So he's gotten, multiple platforms. He's done really good.
Yeah. Oscar-winning animated film.
Did it really win an Oscar?
I don't think so. It should win an Oscar for meme power.
So I think if you want to look at the list, if we want to move Leonard over.
Yeah, excuse me. Leonard, please watch out.
See, I was thinking you remove Eddie Murphy, Jim Carrey. I don't think they belong there. And I think Bill Murray shouldn't be number 3. See, I think the problem with the list is just people who grew up and they're like, oh, Jim Carrey, I laughed so much at Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
But you think of, if you randomize and pull 10 of his movies, how many of them are you going to watch and laugh out loud at?
How many of them are funny? How many of them are you going to laugh out loud at? And at the end of the day, I think writing has to come into it, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't create the funny thing you did, and of course you did create it because you created the moment you're an actor.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to have some sort of control over that laugh, because if you didn't write it, it would never have existed unless someone wrote it for you.
And I think with Will Ferrell, if you take not even little cameos, if you just look at stuff they were in, I think that's what helps them, is that if I just pulled 10 random Will Ferrell movies and showed them to someone, if you like that style of comedy, you're gonna think that's funny. You're not gonna really. There might be one you think's a dud, but most of them you're gonna laugh at. So. I was surprised. I think Johnny Carson being 41st, I've really looked at a lot of his work, but a lot of people who are in comedy talk about how he was the hero.
I mean, I've heard the names of all these older guys enough to say they belong.
I think it was weird that he was down low. Same with Jim Gaffigan. And I think even like Seth MacFarlane. Like, I'm not the biggest Family Guy fan, but for him, you've got Family Guy, you've got American Dad, you've got that Ted movie, I think it's A Million Ways to Die in the West or whatever. Like, not really, I don't really care for any of them.
Right.
But, like, still, like, he's put out stuff that has been considered, like, successful.
Absolutely.
And I think that he's silently become one of the...
Yeah, he's like sort of, I would say that he is probably more deserving. Again, like, I don't really care for any of those things very much either. But someone who is orchestrating comedy, I think is pretty deserving. Like that, he's obviously a funny person, because he not only is a funny guy, but can create things that make you laugh. So I feel like the list is a little bit unfairly geared towards people who are very boisterous on the screen.
I think the list, the same way. Like, I kind of had a problem with it, but for the most part, I was like, oh, I at least see where they're coming from. Like a Robin Williams, first list wouldn't be up there. However, that's an unpopular opinion. Like, I don't really argue with it. So I think it was pretty nice seeing that, because I like things that I can look at and enjoy, but I also like things that I can taste and enjoy.
Absolutely.
Tank drunk. Speaking of Zach Patton, not a week goes by. Today, water.
We've done that before.
Return. He, once a week, will look at some kind of beverage and tell us that we should use that as a tank drink.
Ooh.
But lately, it's become things that aren't even beverages. It'll just be like a liquid. And it'll be like, man, wouldn't it be funny if you drank this? And I'm like, wow, I wouldn't want to die.
Some pond water. What is this?
It's A&W Singles to Go root beer.
Put some root beer in your water. Is your water not unhealthy and sweet enough for you? Have some root beer.
This is getting really clumpy.
Clumpy, baby!
My water's overfilling.
Little blood clot action, boy. Brandon, real quick on that list, I don't think Steve Carell deserves to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. I think he is very good at acting out characters that are written for him, but I wouldn't say that he is an orchestrator of humor.
I think he's got a ways to go. You gotta wait for a little while to see if they hold up.
Even though I love my daddy, and I would love for him to be in the top 10. Go ahead, sorry.
Like, I think Chris Farley is someone that he did stuff, but a lot of it's, he's playing the same character.
Yeah, Chris Farley is the same character all the time, I think.
People just get upset if you touch on their favorite.
Oh boy. Ready?
It's a sugar-free, so I don't know how good sugar-free root beer is going to be.
Clank it and drink it. Mmm.
You know what it tastes like is when you've made a root beer float, and at the bottom where like vanilla is mixed in with it.
Yeah. I'm not loving it.
Don't hate it.
But it's pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. It's like flat root beer that's a little bit sweeter than normal.
I think mixables. I like this more than A&W root beer. Because I think that's the bottom of the totem pole. That and mug.
No, you've
the
missed,
kings
you've
of
missed
root
your
beer.
bottle.
The kings of root beer are like Barks, which whenever you get off your diet, we one day just sample 30 root beers.
That's right. I'm on that low carb diet, boy. I'm down 12 pounds. Yeah.
So if you enjoy your root beer with only 1 carb and no sugar, and with some genetic engineering, try A&W's Singles to Go.
Something feels unnatural about it, but it doesn't taste bad.
That's the supernatural in it.
Well, Brandon, it's been a pleasure. If you think you're funny, you're not top 10. We're not. No, we know we're not. But we're on that list somewhere.
If we just made an account, we could vote for ourselves 13,000 times to be
That's
number
true.
one.
We certainly could. I think we're funny. Brandon, I think if I were to evaluate us, I think we are humorous people. Sometimes we jump into an episode where it's not comedy. We're talking about comedy, but it's not, we're not pulling your laugh box. But hopefully we pulled it a little bit on the way through. And really what I'm doing now is an attempt to try to tickle the laugh box here at the end.
We're just trying to tickle a little.
Little Leonard tickle your little laugh box. You want some root beer, boy? Anyway, I'm gonna feed Leonard this root beer. You remember that we love you. No,
he's looking right into your eyes too.
He is. He's ready for it. Remember that to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, Brandon, how do we feel about them?
We love them very much.